Second 8, no good. No, but it's with everything we went through this weekend, we'll take it. But man, I want to win. We're close. I think we have maybe a little bit more speed, but Tony could really get away on those restarts up through the gears a lot better than I could. So I've got to look at that, see see if it was something I was doing wrong or something else going on there. But solid performance. I've got to stop and make mention of what Lowe's is doing with the disaster relief fund and the fact that we finished so well. They're going to put up a bunch of money for all the tornado victims. Myself and Hendrick Motorsports going to match that as well. So great day in a lot of ways. I wish we could have this Kobalt Chevrolet over in Victory Lane, but just didn't happen. Want to say hi to my wife and daughter at home, and see you guys soon.
Congratulations on a fine run. Thank you. Thanks, Jimmy and Dick, with Michael Waltrip here in the Hollywood Hotel. Well, redemption in Las Vegas. That didn't happen for a lot of people. For Tony Stewart, he was the king of the restarts today. But how about that battle towards the end? I mean, Jimmy was giving it all he had. Tony held up.
That's two world-class drivers on the gas. They wanted that victory so bad. Tony Stewart held off a determined Jimmie Johnson. My heart was beating 100 miles an hour, Chris, because I know how bad they wanted to win, and I know that there isn't any better drivers in NASCAR than those two right now.
8 championships between them. They'll be in the mix again. In the mix towards the end of the race, as we illustrated, was the Jack Roush Ford drivers colliding. And let's go now to Krista, who is standing by with 2 of those.
Yeah, Chris, standing between teammates Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle. Tell me about those last laps. Obviously battling teammates, and there was another Roush Fenway car in the mix too, and we're going to show it to you right now.
Yeah, I just got down in there and I was on the top, and Carl was digging on the bottom. I could see him right up on my quarter panel. I was just easing up the track a little bit, giving him room, and I got a pretty good run off the corner, and I don't know what happened behind me, so it was pretty bad behind me. I don't know exactly what happened back there.
Okay, not the win, but you are the points leader. Let's get the take from your teammate Carl Edwards. What happened?
Well, Matt spun his tires just a little bit on the restart, and I went down on the apron. He gave me a ton of room, and we got all bunched up over there. But I got to thank Aflac for being on board, Fastenal, Ford, Subway, Kellogg's, UPS, and Best Buy. And we were not that good at the beginning of the race. It was fun to battle all day, fun to race at this place. It's slick, it's fun, and I'm glad we could at least see the winner up there. That was a good time.
Strong day for Roush Fenway. Steve?
Well, Matt Kenseth, tell us what happened on the backstretch on that last restart.
I honestly don't really know. I mean, Carl just laid back and, got by me 3 wide, and then just didn't seem like there was a lot of room getting into one. And I did get clear behind him, and they just stopped in the middle of the corner. And I don't really know what happened. I got into him a little bit, and then I don't know if I got there, pulled off the right side, or really, honestly what happened. So I thought I got a good start. I was right with Tony. I didn't lay back on Tony, and, they always do that then. It's just, you got to be ready for that. So I don't really know what I did up there.
Thank you, Matt.
Disappointing day for Matt Kenseth, of course, the winner of the first race of the year at the Daytona 500, and Denny Hamlin, who won last week.
Can you imagine Matt Kenseth? He felt that victory. He was right where he needed to be, and then just have it taken away from him off turn 2. Very frustrating for that young man.
Always say the teammate thing is overrated. Yeah, we saw it in that case. Well, let's get some final thoughts from Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
Gene Haas had never won a Sprint Cup race. He took half his chips, half his race team, pushed it across the table to Tony Stewart, said, come with me, you own half the race team, you lead this team. They just got their 14th Sprint Cup victory. They have a championship, and Ryan Newman came through that Roush Fenway battle at the end to finish 4th. Wow, what a roll they're on.
And really and truly, I mean, great leaders are always second guessed. Tony Stewart is a great leader. I mean, he's great at everything he does. Every business he gets involved in, he leads it to success. That change he made, what a gamble. Let go Darian Grubb, bring in Steve Addington. But it paid off.
Yes, it did.
And I tell you, you got to tip your hat to Jimmie Johnson and his race team. When you look at the controversy they've been living with for the last 2 weeks with this penalty, the appeal be held on Tuesday. They had a top 5 finish last week at Phoenix. They go to a backup car after a practice crash, go up there and lead laps and finish 2nd. That means that team and Jimmie Johnson, they kept their game face on, and they kept their focus during this 400-miler today.
And Chris, add to that, fellas like Jamie McMurray, Paul Menard, and Martin Truex were in the mix all day. Ran hard, ended up with some decent finishes.
Thanks, Mike. Darrell and Larry, we look forward to next week in Bristol. Let's check the unofficial results as we roll in here. And you talk about being in Vegas, Michael. Clint Boyer, Michael Waltrip Racing, gambling with a pretty good finish.
Yeah, great call by Brian Patty. They stayed out, got some track position, was able to hang on to a top 10 finish. Proud of those guys. Trevor Bayne back in the top 10. It's good to see Trevor run well, and there's Dale Jr. back in the 10th spot.
Yeah, we're going to hear from Dale Earnhardt Jr. here in just a couple of moments. Jeff Gordon not near the front. Kevin Harvick, your odds. You said, hey, he's my guy today. I would go with him, an 11th place finish.
Yeah, it's a decent day for Kevin. Didn't have exactly all I thought he would have. Casey Kane, the same situation. Started on the pole, never really challenged. And point leader coming in, Denny Hamlin all the way back in 20th spot.
Kyle Busch, we documented his rough day along with Kurt Busch. The guys from Vegas struggling. Kyle, remember, had to go to a backup car, a former winner here as we round out the field. A.J. Allmendinger, all that potential continuing to disappoint where he's finishing. And Brad Keselowski gambled, struggled. A 19-year-old Timmy Hill in his very first Sprint Cup race. And we'll continue live from Las Vegas. We'll hear from Dale Earnhardt Jr. We'll also check the points 3 races through the NASCAR Sprint Cup season with Tony Stewart pulling into victory lane. The Sprint Cup point standings, 3 races through. Greg Biffle is the leader now for the first time since 2005 that he is leading the points championship. He actually has had 3 third-place finishes, finishing over the roulette table and putting some down on 3.
I like your thinking, but what about Tony Stewart? Already won. He's never been this hot this early in the season. The other guys might want to watch out.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4th in points currently. Let's check in with him. He's with Steve Burns.
With Dale Earnhardt Jr., you led a lot of laps out front. How would you describe your afternoon?
Well, when we were fast leading the race, the car was really tight. And I knew by the end of the race, especially with all the cautions we had at the end, that this was going to be really tight racetrack, and we needed to free the car up. And I didn't give Steve enough information throughout the day to really give him the idea of how tight the car was. And track sort of went past us as far as our handling goes. So we didn't, I didn't keep up with the track enough, and it cost us a handful of spots there at the end of the race. And the car was just really tight. We should have worked on it during the day, and I should have gave Steve a little more heads up on what was happening. And but we had a good weekend. National Guard Diet Mountain Dew Chevy was fast all weekend, and we keep doing that every week. We're gonna be right there. So we'll just keep trying.
See you at Bristol.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Led more laps today than all of last season. Junior, who's a big Redskins fan. Tony Stewart's a big Colts fan and said he was crushed when they had to release Peyton Manning in Indianapolis. But Junior, and you tweeted him when we heard about the big Redskin trade moving up to number 2 in the upcoming April draft to go after a quarterback in Washington.
Yeah, I asked him, did they give up too much for that draft pick? He said, what would you give up for a dynasty? What if this is something special for our team? And he said, it's fun to be a Redskins fan as we look forward to the next year's season. And I can relate to that. We got Cam Newton down in Charlotte, and there's some excitement in Charlotte about that quarterback.
And Dynasty, Tony Stewart, Jimmie Johnson knows something about that. What do you think as we head to Bristol based on what we've seen in the first 3 races?
Like I said, the end of the race was everything I wanted to see. We had 2 of our best slugging it out. Jimmie Johnson wanted that win so bad. You saw him drive up on the outside of Tony Stewart with a couple to go. Just couldn't pull it off. Tony put him away. But that was all we got right there in NASCAR. 2 of our best going wide open for the checkers.
And, of course, in Bristol, Tennessee, that's where it's more about the driver, less about the car. We look forward to that next Sunday and hope you'll be with us. Lowe's wants to thank everyone who contributed to Racing for Relief during today's Kobalt Tools 400. In addition to your contributions to the Red Cross, Lowe's will donate the matching amount of Jimmie Johnson's winnings from the race today to provide disaster relief with a minimum donation of $100,000. Coming up tonight on Fox, The Simpsons, Family Guy, and our favorite at 9:30, American Dad. We talked about Bristol, Tennessee, some of the great racing, short track racing. Kyle Busch, 4 of the last 6 races have been won by him at that locale. And then after that, it's Fontana, California, and Martinsville, Virginia. 3 straight races on Fox without interruption. If you want more racing coverage for here all the time, check out Speed and currently switch over to Victory Lane if you want to get a recap of what happened here in Tony Stewart's exciting victory after letting one slip away last year. He was not about to let it happen this time. For Darrell, Larry, and Mike, Chris to Steve, Dick, Matt, Jeff, and Michael, this has been a Barry Landis production, directed by Artie Kempner. I'm Chris Myers. We always like having you a part of NASCAR on Fox. We hope you'll tune in next Sunday from Bristol, Tennessee, and we thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed the Tony Stewart win in Las Vegas, and thanks for being there.